Hey guys, what's going on? Um, Bringing you a second video, I guess, because some of you guys wanted to hear a little bit more about narcissism and relationships. Um, this is going to be kind of a boring video since I'm reading a lot of this off of things that I've jotted down from different sites and stuff like that. But um, a lot of information and a lot of things you know or need to know, and why you should stay the hell away from narcissistic people, um, and female narcissistic females. Aside from the fact that they will never care about you, no matter how much they tell you that they have or they will, they don't. They don't have it in them to. Um, it's also one of the only psychological disorders, I guess you will, that really can't be treated. Um, they really have to want it themselves to stop, but because they get so they get so angry when ridiculed, or they think they're being ridiculed, that they just go into defense mode. So you'll never get far with that. So anyway, we'll get right into it. What is a female narcissist? A definition, or a vague definition, of a female narcissist is it's a personality disorder that's characterized by a pattern of excessive emotionality and attention seeking, um, and including an excessive need for approval and inappropriate seductiveness. Usually begins in childhood, but it's not unheard of for it to happen later on. Um, they're very lively, dramatic, enthusiastic, and flirtatious with every man that they meet, as each one is a potential host, whether it be now or later on. So they do share a lot with male narcissists, which dominate that category in numbers, but it's not by much. You're talking 8% of men and 5 to 6% in the women category, but it's the way they do it that's quite different. And I'm not saying one's any better than the other by any means. I condemn them both. So it's also important to know that while they may have some narcissistic traits, may not be a bad person, but there are some traits that are immediate red flags. And I think you'll be able to tell by the emphasis that the psychologists give in some of these writings, which are kind of okay, and almost all of them are to avoid. Keep in mind also that they're extremely vindictive, and they'll claim it's for you, but it's not. It's all about them. If it wasn't, they wouldn't do the things they do to people. They aren't human beings in the sense that they lack a soul for somebody, or a soul personally, and compassion for other people. If you've been with one and you've ended a relationship or been in and out, you'll see it right away that they will try to turn people against you. They'll keep you from your friends and acquaintances, even though you've respectfully not done anything to them, or want any problems further with them. You just want to, let them go on their way and you do your own thing. But they're still going to try to, block you from all of that for whatever reason. If they go to the same place as you do, they'll try to keep you out or away. And it's childish. It's more of like a child in an adult's body, because what grown human being does that type of thing? People don't, I see if you're harassing them, but if you're not talking to them or whatever, and you want to go talk to your friends and acquaintances, why would somebody take that away from you? I guess karma takes care of that in the long run, but that's the way it is. Female narcissists are inappropriately and sexually provocative, whether it be by clothing, multiple partners, flirting with everybody, keeping exes or multiple exes around, male, what they quote unquote call friends, which we know is bullshit, and they'll keep all those around. They'll even hold on to a marriage if they're in a marriage, because potentially he's still giving them something that they want. So why get rid of that? Just acquire new hosts to be with, and get whatever you need that he's not from them. That's what they do. They do express strong emotions with an impressionistic style, and are easily influenced by others. And that could be coworkers, friends that may be telling them things that never happened. Going to meet their exes, if they call or text them just because they've been in a previous relationship, they'll run right away to go see them, and then they'll convince you, if you're still with them, they'll convince you that nothing happened. Again, bullshit. Guys or girls shouldn't be that stupid or ignorant. Let's see. Staying in bad relationships, they'll do that as long as they have another victim to feed on, because they don't care about you, right? It's all about them. They don't care if you've had feelings or have feelings for them. Hence the vindictive nature above. It's feast or fiend, I guess, and they don't care. So why be with somebody that's like that, or even remotely, try to bother? Female narcissists are their associated features include egocentrism, self-indulgence, continuous longing for feelings and appreciation. They're easily hurt, and they persist with their manipulative behavior to achieve their own needs. Female narcissists are known to focus more heavily on physical appearance than that of a male narcissist. They often overestimate their own attractiveness and focus on flaunting their physical attributes instead, that's probably one of the most common things. Dress provocatively, showing photos of that on Facebook that are revealing or somewhat revealing, or sending text messages with photos. You may recall in the other video I did, where the girl took rose petals from roses I had sent her, and and stuck them in a bathtub, right? With her in the bathtub, rose petals, took a picture on Facebook, or put it on Facebook for everybody else to see. Yeah, I mean, that speaks for itself. So, they like to see their lives, I guess, as a running feature film, with them starring as the lead role, receiving all the accolades at all times. Female narcissists in their 30s and 40s who are unhappily single or married will generally blame their unpartnered state or failure to leave their relationship because they're either too independent, scared, or if they're single, feisty, intimidating, and intelligent for most men. So they have little self-awareness, and it's pretty sad, but hopefully fixable if they realize it. Twenge and Campbell, that have done a lot of relationship psychology and stuff on narcissism, reflect back to hookups and friends with benefits and other no strings relationships as a manifestation of the narcissistic epidemic, since hooking up is considered selfish in and of itself, and that it's all about self-satisfaction rather than generosity towards another person. Narcissistic women don't care about their partners at all, yet they will claim to. They will tell you up front that they care about you. It will progress into the I love you phase, or that I think I'm in love with you, and you're supposed to guess whether they do or they don't, when in reality they're probably saying it to somebody else, to their husband, to an ex, in text messages and everything else at the same time they're telling you. They will then tell you that they can't love you or care about you like you need to be, because they never did. It's not that they can't. It's not that they won't. It's not there, you know. And they do it for two reasons: either to push you away, and so they can go to the next host, victim, whatever you want to call it. If you're familiar with narcissism, you'll know it's host. Or they're going to do it to get you to try harder. Don't fall for that shit. It's a ploy. It's a game. And at the end of the day, you're smart enough to know that if they loved you and cared about you, wouldn't have left you in the first place. There would have been nobody else in the first place. You would have been a focus of attention. And that's beyond the thinking of a narcissist. Trust me. One of the hallmarks of a narcissist is short-term relationships that don't require a lot of emotional investment. Why invest? You're giving everything to them. They just have to show little bits here and there. And if they can show those little bits, they have you. And once you realize that you shouldn't be in that, then, obviously you can get out. It will seem that they love you. It will seem that they care. It will absolutely seem that they have your absolute best interest at heart. And it feels good. I mean, you feel loved, you feel cared for, and if you're a compassionate person yourself, you're going to want to give that back 110%. Who wouldn't? I mean, that's what a relationship is loving and caring about one another and compassion. So, but it's all a plan, and it's very well planned and very well executed. But hopefully, if you're watching this, maybe you'll know. In the next half, I'll go into how you identify, or at least how psychologists identify female narcissists. So we'll be back in just a minute.